Hey guys, today we're talking about disrespect and how it doesn't matter what version of disrespect it is, it'll always be disrespect. So I come on YouTube to talk about topics that I feel like aren't usually spoken about or aren't usually made aware about, and kind of not necessarily uncomfortable topics, but topics that aren't touched because the conversations could get uncomfortable. And we will be talking about disrespect, and we will be addressing disrespect and how not a lot of people are taught to set their boundaries. A lot of people grow up in very traumatic households, or generational trauma is a real thing. So they're not taught on how to set their boundaries for self-respect, and how it doesn't matter on which version of disrespect it is. If you are getting disrespected, you need to set your boundaries and you need to let that go. So I will be first starting off with my experience in the most recent thing I just realized, and I'm so very grateful for this realization that I'm gonna be here and share it with y'all. So first, my parents weren't made aware at a young age about how important self-respect is, and they never necessarily prioritized self-respect. I guess their parents just taught them, raised them a different way. And so growing up with me and my siblings, we weren't necessarily passed on the same thing. Like, we weren't taught that self-respect is so important. We weren't taught, we didn't know what self-respect looked like. And definitely we have settled for getting disrespected in many ways. We were also never taught what self-respect feels like. And thankfully, I can say we are learning it now. When it comes to generational trauma, certain cultures, these things aren't talked about too. Mental health is not real for a lot of parents. Mental health is not a real thing. And another thing that's really big is parents, just because you're a child, you don't have an identity, or you don't have the voice to speak up because you are a child, which is the way a lot of parents think, and it strips the voice from a lot of kids and a lot of individuals. So growing up, they believe that they can't speak, or that no one's going to listen to them, or no one's going to respect what they got going for themselves, or certain things like that. So with that, growing up, we experienced a lot of disrespect in different ways. Sit down with yourself and understand what disrespect looks like to you. Write a list of what your boundaries are. Write a list of what your comfortabilities are, what your comfort zone looks like, what you expect certain relationships to look like, whether it's a relationship with your boss, a romantic relationship, a relationship with your mother, or a best friend. What do you expect those relationships to look like? How do you expect those people to show up, and what won't you settle for? I say all that to say I had a relationship in my life where the relationship was so beautiful, so authentic, a very genuine connection. And when we were friends, it ended up becoming a romantic relationship. Now, when we were friends, it was very beautiful, very genuine. I got disrespected one time. I don't like to see people as their mistakes. So I let this person know that nobody's characteristics should be determined on their mistakes. And I understand the mistake that you made, da da da. And I said that I didn't want a friend like that. So we broke off our friendship. Well, I broke off our friendship for about a year. We ended up becoming friends again, romantic. Then a romantic relationship aspired from us being friends about a year later. And I got disrespected again. Now, this is where I really want you to listen. Because not only, while we were in the relationship, everything was beautiful, very genuine. There was no signs of disrespect, ever. We broke up. We were mutuals. We were friends. This is when the disrespect came. This is the way my brain works. What people do, what people talk about, the way people think. It doesn't have anything to do with you. It has everything to do with them. So I was like, this doesn't have anything to do with me. This says so much about them, right? But I was like, there was a tie. I was somewhat kind of involved. Not physically. I wasn't involved physically, but I definitely was involved energetically. And my energy is there. And this person still chose to disrespect my energy. And that is huge. You don't get to do that, and you don't get to know me. You don't get to do that and still know me. You don't get to do that and still have access to my energy. You don't get to do that. But at the time, I was trying to not sit with myself and not connect the dots onto why it was disrespectful, into why I felt uncomfortable with that situation. I tried to avoid it, and I tried to make it pretty, make it picture pretty, make it present pretty, so that everything can still seem sweet. No, it's not sweet. Stop trying to sugarcoat shit. Actually understand what it is, what the fuck is in your face, and actually swallow that and understand it and accept it. It was it's just more of a different character. It was a different character than what I was being shown while we were together, which is completely okay. I don't expect anything from anyone, and I appreciate everything from anyone, right? But if there is anything that I have standards, and I have boundaries. And when the action of disrespect took place, I tried to belittle it. My brain was trying to make me belittle the disrespect. This is why I titled the video what I titled it, because any version of disrespect is disrespect. Swallow that. Accept it. And see it clearly for what it is. Don't try to sugarcoat shit. There's no need to sugarcoat shit. Sugarcoating shit isn't going to be good for you at the end of the day. Because when I was sitting there and I realized that I felt uncomfortable with the disrespect that just happened in my face, that I realized that I felt disrespected, I tried to belittle it. I said, look, we're not together. This person doesn't owe me a thing. And that's true. These are all facts. We're not together. This person doesn't owe me a thing. And all of this stuff, but it's not about that. It's not about that. It's at the end of the day, this person we were still mutuals. We were still friends. And if someone is disrespecting you, or if someone is being weird, just traits that just are disrespectful to you behind your back, and it's not within how you want to be treated, you have to let it go. What you don't get to do, you don't get to disrespect that person secretly and silently and still reap the benefits of knowing them. Reap the benefits of their support, reap the benefits of their wisdom. You don't get to do those things. And so what I was trying to do to myself was belittle the disrespect because we weren't together. I was trying to belittle the disrespect because this person can do what they want. Yes, this person can do what they want. And because of that, this person can do what they want, and they can show you their true colors, and that's what they did. And so that's what I told myself, Nita, you need to clock this tea. You need to swallow what it was. You need to actually accept what's in your face, because the actions are showing you. There's so much words can do. There's so much words can. I want to be this. I want to show up this way. I want to do this for you. Okay, but what are they actually doing, Nita? That's the tea. That's what you need to swallow. And I shared this. I simply shared this for y'all. If anyone is watching this, and I'm not doing this out of any anger. I'm sharing this. I don't share this for any sort of validation. I don't share this for any sort of applaudiment, if that's a word. I don't share this for those things. I share this to inspire someone else, because if someone would have told me that any version of disrespect is disrespect, to swallow that, then I would have clocked that tea sooner, and I wouldn't be sitting in a puddle of disrespect and still watering it myself. I wouldn't be doing that. And the reason why I bring up my childhood and my past, the reason why I bring up my childhood and my past in this situation is because I was disrespected as a child in ways that I wouldn't dare be disrespected now. But because my childhood disrespect was more extreme than the disrespect that I experienced, I try to belittle it. And that's what you don't do. That's what doesn't count. Just because negative things happen to you in worse ways does not mean the lighter thing that is still wrong, that is still disrespectful, gets a chance to just swing by. This person is doing the same thing that this person is doing, just a little bit worse, and they both don't get to know you. They both don't get the opportunity. They both don't get the honor. They both don't get the gratification of what it's like to have you in their life. They don't. Because this person is doing the same person as this person is doing the same exact thing as this person, being disrespectful, and they both need to go on because they don't deserve you. And that's what it is. If something is disrespectful, it does not matter. It does not matter the amount of disrespect it is. It is disrespectful, and they need to get on. And I tell y'all that because I don't ever want y'all to settle for less, regardless of what you think, regardless of how you try to sugarcoat the disrespect. People do not get to disrespect you and think it's okay just because their disrespect looks less than the person before them. Disrespect is disrespect, bro. Like, don't ever try to belittle it, make one smaller than the other, make one seem better than the other. It doesn't matter. You don't deserve to get disrespected regardless of what kind of disrespect it is. So you have to put an end to it. You have to say, oh, this is disrespectful. You're not going to disrespect me. You're going to get to say, I know my worth, and I don't entertain people who think that they can disrespect me. I don't entertain people, or I don't allow people in my life who don't value me. Because if this person is disrespecting you, guess what? Guess what? Unfortunately, they don't value you to the extent that you need to be valued. That you deserve to be valued. They need to go and work on themselves and understand why they even did that. How they could even do that. And if you're questioning, like, how do I know if something is disrespectful, or how can I be clear on if I just feel some type of way or if this was actually disrespect? I expressed on creating what it looks like for you for your certain relationships, and actually get into detail on what those relationships, what your standards are for those relationships, what things you will not settle for. And also create a list on your boundaries and exactly what you will not play about. And get in detail when it comes to, like, I don't play about my disrespect. Like, for example, say one of your boundaries are obviously disrespect, that it is our topic. For me, I am so big on time. I'm so big on time and communication, right? If we have planned a date, or if we have booked an appointment together, or things like that, things of that nature, majority, like 95% of the time, I am on time. And if I'm not, it's most likely roughly 5 to 10 minutes late, and that probably is like 20% of the time, right? I will communicate. I will 100% communicate. If I realize that I will be running late, I will 100% communicate. One thing that is so disrespectful to me for how much I value my own time and value plans and value other people is being late. That's one. And then two is not communicating your tardiness. That is such a disrespectful action to me. It's such a disrespectful behavior, because where am I in this process? Or you are late, and it is pushing back my time, and you have no consideration of my time. You understand what I'm saying? Like, those things, that is like just a big no for me. I will not settle for that. I cannot. It's not something I could appreciate. I cannot appreciate that. And that's something that you could get into detail about, those kinds of things. Like, what does disrespect look like for you? What things are a yes what things need to be valued. You can get into detail with that, and if you feel disrespected, get into detail with yourself about what exactly you feel, how you feel disrespected. If you're just like, one of my boundaries is don't disrespect me, right? Well, what does disrespect look like? What things would be disrespectful? What things do you want to be valued? And if they aren't, is disrespectful. Like, my body was telling me something did not feel right about this action or this behavior that this person did. Uncomfortability, still there. And I had to sit down with myself and realize why I felt uncomfortable. There was something about this action that this person did that made me look at them different. And what about that action was it? What about that action made you feel that way? With all that being said, obviously, all this comes with time. You learn yourself as you go. You learn what things that you won't settle for. You learn what certain disrespects look like. This is all a journey. This is all a journey, and I'm just grateful for you being here and working with yourself. So as we wrap up this video, I just want to take the time to say, just because you weren't shown the correct examples of what self-respect looks like, or just because other people have disrespected you in immense amount of ways, it doesn't get to be an excuse for the people who do it in subtle ways. It doesn't get to pass by for the people who do it once or twice, and there's people who've done it like 10 times in your life constantly. It doesn't get to compare, and it doesn't get to stay just because things have been worse. It doesn't get to do that, not anymore, and it won't, because you are putting an end to it. And I just want to thank every single person who is watching this and who is going to walk away respecting themselves more. And I want to thank every single person who watched it the whole way through. And I want to thank you for watching something like this for yourself. Like, it matters that we are aware and we are reassured that we can let things go because they are disrespectful. It matters that we are reassured that we are so valuable, we do not have to put up with disrespect. And I'm just so grateful for every single person who is learning to respect themselves. I am so grateful for everyone I'm so proud of everyone who is setting their boundaries and weren't taught to. Even if you were taught to and you are still just, sticking to it and respecting yourself, I'm just so proud of you for doing that. The world can sometimes alter certain beliefs, and it can just, get us in ways that we don't see it, and it can get us to settle, and it can just do that, and certain people can just really get a hook on us. And I just want to say that I am so proud of everyone who is sticking up for themselves, everyone who is strict on their self-respect and strict on their value and their boundaries. I'm so proud of you, and you are such an inspiration to me and to other people, and I'm so grateful for every single one of you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for watching this video, and just thank you for teaching yourself and for learning not to settle for less, for not putting up with disrespect, and so that we can hold people accountable, so that they know they cannot keep disrespecting us and one another, so we can look within and understand ourselves a little deeper onto why we allow certain things to happen, and to truly connect and value ourselves more. So again, thank you for watching this video. Feel free to like, subscribe, join my channel. Yeah, thank you.